And constables who are here, I'm sure you all can understand. A man must know what he's been accused of doing. Writing on there, specifying the offense is just only one. You're just satisfying one condition imposed under section 105, subsection 9, part 1 of the part A of the Road Traffic Act, which is your specifying the offense. But section 105, subsection 9, part B requires you to state the nature of the offense. And that section of the law is fulfilling the constitutional requirement for a person to know the nature of the offense. Officers, you don't have to write out everything in a detail, you know. But the man must know what he's being accused of doing. Because how else him go? And he must know who accuse him. So how else will you know how to defend yourself? Remember, you have a right to defend yourself, you know. And you can't put together a good defense if you don't know what you're being accused of doing. So that is why, gentle people, and this is not for tonight, but I'll just say it again. One of the things that people like me do procedurally, you can always notify the court before by filing a written notice or an application to dismiss the ticket. Might not reach a judge, might not. But, or when you go to parish court, you can then have your 3 copies. One for you, one for the clerk, which is the prosecutor, we represented the DPP, and this third one is for the judge. Make sure you have your 3 copies of your motion, asking the court or your application. In this case, it's a preliminary objection, objecting to the ticket on the grounds that you don't know, for example, what you're charged of. Where you go plead guilty for? You know where you're charged of? The ticket not say. So you can't plead guilty for it. Yeah? So we have to be mindful. You have a right under the Constitution to know what you're being accused of doing. And I'm not telling anybody that if you're guilty not to go to court and plead guilty. Go there and plead guilty. Because the Road Traffic Act was designed for safety purposes and to keep the public safe. So if you're guilty of violating something, go and plead guilty, man, and pay your fine. But I'm just saying that there are ways out of a ticket. Not many constables. Good thing I don't hold for them on the platform, yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong, you know. I don't mind if they don't know, you know. I don't mind. Because when I see it, I say breach of my constitutional rights, malicious prosecution, money. I have youth in my favor, so I can always wait for 10 years to collect. Yep. I can always wait for 10 years to collect. Yep. So, gentle people, in summary, the Road Traffic Act makes exceeding the speed limit prescribed by the regulations or posted to be an offense. There is no one speed limit. Not because you see the sign out on the road, that does not mean that it's a speed limit for your vehicle. That sign ought to be the speed limit prescribed for vehicles on that road or part of the road. But because that is not the only speed limit, and the law says or, then it means that you have to comply with all of them. That applies to you. So if the regulations say that the speed limit is applied to you because you are driving a big truck, is 30, you better close your eye and don't see the 50 or the 80 ways up on the roadside. Sorry, me not nobody close your eye. Sorry. But you know what I mean, yes? You better not see that 50 and remember that it's 30 that applies to you based on the size of your truck. Alright? One other issue I have with the speed limit, and this is where we're getting to the closing. One other issue I have with speed limit, we have 15 minutes left in this live, is that the section of it that permits the posting of signs by the authority, there is no regulation that governs how that is done. So if there's no regulation that governs how the authority choose to put where and how and what distance apart they have to be, then in my view, based on my understanding of the law, I am fully convinced, viewers, subscribers, that in the absence of clear procedures, that section 55, subsection 1, which empowers the placing of speed signs along the road, is of no effect at this point in time. I know somebody was waiting on some shaka from me, Is of no effect at this point in time, for the mere fact that I have not seen, and if anybody can have seen it, the regulation big. I have not seen anywhere in the regulations which prescribes the procedures to govern how, where, when a sign is placed. What distance apart do they need to be for you to say, okay, me see 150 or so. So is it when me see the next one, then that prescribe how far? Or am I to assume? You can't assume. There needs be something in the regulations. So that's a gap, a big gap. If there are any attorneys on here who can jump on with me, and because that one, I see that a gap. The last time I got a speed ticket, I went to court. I was going to challenge that the Road Traffic Act in that element of it, but then dismiss the ticket. So I never get free nothing. Yep, they dismiss the ticket. So I did not. I created a 4-page challenge to that element. So I am, if I get another opportunity, because I tell the truth, the criminal getting a ticket is the quickest way before the court to be able to address these matters. The fastest way. If I need to go to the high court, I got that now done for the next 2-3 years. But it's the parish court have a night, especially in Portland and these parishes, the schedule is very light. You get through very easily with your cases. Alright? So that's where I really want to challenge it from. And if the state want to disagree, then they can appeal to the depending on the parish, they can appeal to the Supreme Court, and there see again, we're getting there fast. Because remember, this is a criminal matter. Criminal matters are done to deal with faster. Yep. If we do it as a civil matter, then it take too long. Yeah? It take too long. But criminal matters done fast. So any officer out there who feel like they want to act malicious and give me a speed ticket, I wait for one. So that we can have that element sorted out. Because as far as I'm concerned, as far as I can understand, if there are no procedures that prescribe how, it means that there can be inequitable treatment. It means that the authority can just say, here I go on. In another part of Jamaica, we can do it the way, and in another part of Jamaica, we're doing it another way. Now, fun of go on. In another part of Jamaica, we can put the speed sign them anywhere we please. Whether I want to be corner, if we see one corner, yes, we can make it 50. But the corner which one I live, we can make it 30. There's nothing that prescribes which sign goes where, blah, blah, blah. You guys following? So on that basis, because I have not seen any procedures by way of regulation or otherwise that which prescribes Sanzo and YouTube funny, which prescribes the procedure that dictates how, where, and which sign goes where. It means it's up to the authority. And guess what that come out to now, gentle people? Arbitrary exercise of power. And what does the Constitution say about arbitrary exercise of power? Unconstitutional. What does the common law say about arbitrary exercise of power? Unlawful. You get it? So, because that's what would be happening. The power would just be exercised as is, as one please, and that's it. And I'm only talking about the speed signs on the road. So if the minister is listening, that part of the law needs to be amended. Yep. So that part of the Road Traffic Act, as far as I'm concerned, it needs to be amended. This is now my opinion. I am not speaking anything that has been addressed or factually or demonstrated in court. I am saying that based on my understanding of the law, which I trust my understanding of the law, yes, that element of that allows signs to be displayed on the road, the prescribing the speed needs amendment. in the the Road Traffic Act regulation. The regulations need to be amended to prescribe what mechanism is used to determine where a sign goes, which speed go where. Because all me see, if I drive on the road, I just see sign and like them just randomly just show one this and just show one this and just show, you know, like, where they synchronize it? What one this? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, Hugo Boss. Basically, there are some conflicts there. But that is where it requires people like me with a legal mind and, to be able to look at these laws and to say, hey, no man, these are inconsistent with the Constitution. But remember, the court can't come out and say something inconsistent with the Constitution unless there's a claim made. So somebody have to challenge it, or it remains. Because the law is, every act is presumed to be constitutional until it is prescribed. Until the law, let me come again. Every act is presumed to be constitutional. For this reason, Parliament is bound to make sure that every law it passes is in accordance with the Constitution. So there is a general presumption that a law is constitutional until it is challenged. You guys are following? So there's a general presumption. So if you want to get the court to declare that a law or a section of a law is unconstitutional, then you have to challenge it. Got it? Cool. So, and that's one of the things that